Thanks for coming out and watching the oxymoronic Reddit Professional Show, where I showcase the best and worst of the internet. Here I comment on brilliant and hilarious comment chains regarding dumb shit on the internet for you to enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, hit the little bell button so that you get notifications every time we come up with a new video. Enjoy this week's show.
I saved 88% on coffee insurance by switching to Panera from Starbucks. I am a freelance writer, and coffee is my savior. While I do most of my work in the early morning hours at home, I often go to what I call a mobile office a few days a week. This was usually either Starbucks or Panera. That turned out to be a problem, but I didn't realize it. Coffee is freaking expensive. In general, a non-black coffee, specialty drinks, at Starbucks would cost someone around $5 a pop. If I worked there 4 days a week, that's $20 a week and a whopping $1,040 a year. Hello, that's IRA money. That's tires on a vehicle. Hell, that's just money that could go somewhere else. If I bumped that down to a black coffee, around $2.40 I think, that would be around $9.60 a week or approximately $500 a year. Much more reasonable, but still a bunch of money. Panera was the same way. Get a black coffee for around $2.40. However, now Panera has a monthly coffee subscription for $8.99. Let me tell you, this has saved me money. With their subscription, you can get hot or iced coffee, not specialty coffees, any of their hot teas, free refills if you don't leave the store, another coffee every 2 hours if you do leave. By working there 4 days a week and based on my regular work/coffee consumption, I spend around 56 cents per visit on coffee, but I refill it around 4 times. From 4 days a week at Starbucks, this is approximately an 89% reduction in spending. From 4 days a week at Panera without a subscription, this is approximately a 77% reduction in spending. This saved me around $933 annually if I kept going to Starbucks 4 days a week. This saved me around $392 annually if I went to Panera and didn't have the subscription and 4 days a week. What I find now, though, is that I go there every day and get coffee, even on non-work days, and I do not spend any more on food than I would have regularly, which is almost never. I also have business meetings regularly at Panera, so I actually pay for 2 subscriptions. That way, both my guest and I can have unlimited coffee while we chat or work. I swear, this is not a Panera ad, but it is much calmer to do my work in Panera than at Starbucks. I still venture to the Bucks every now and then, but it is rare. Find ways to save money where you can. This worked for me because I already had a routine that revolved around Starbucks and Panera in the afternoons. Jesus, 16 coffees in 4 days. I understand the point of this post, but my man, that's an addiction and a problem. Oh, my friend, it's much more than that. That's not counting the 3 cups during my work hours each morning. Starbucks does free refills on several of their coffees and teas. Always has. Once they refilled my cold brew 3 times in about 90 minutes. I lived a whole week that day. They also will do free refills of coffee or tea after you purchase an espresso drink if you use their rewards card. Is this something they actually officially do? Or does it require making the barista feel awkward by asking for something they don't do, but they will probably say yes because they don't want to make a big deal out of a cup of coffee? Starbucks manager here. Yes, we will do it for free if you have a rewards card with us, and often if the customer doesn't have one, but is nice, I'll just swipe my partner card and let him have it. Otherwise it's 50 cents. And it's not just coffee. You have a choice of hot tea, iced tea, cold brew, or hot or iced coffee. And this applies regardless of the original beverage. So say you have a frappuccino and want a cold brew for the road, it's either free or 50 cents. This only applies if you go inside to order, however, as drive-through/mobile order customers, unless they pick up the order inside and stay, are not eligible to receive refills. Also keep in mind that due to COVID-19 restrictions on customers in cafe, refills may not be available at some stores RN. If you are treating Starbucks and Panera as your mobile office, I don't know if $5 is too much money. I have always been confused what the coffee shop's business model is, how they can afford to have low-revenue customers occupying and monopolizing sitting spaces. Starbucks has shifted away from this. That's why the stores are much smaller and with less seating space. They do both, depending on the location, and foot traffic will dictate the layout. They still actively want to promote themselves as a third place. Absolutely, some Starbucks are clearly locations for grab and go, while others have much more seating space with phone chargers and outlets nearby all seats. Huge difference between the brand new Starbucks near my old university vs the Starbucks that is close to my home next to a grocery store. That was the goal of the founder of Panera. He wanted to create a place where people could come and treat it like a second home. Listen to a great interview by him recently. I stopped working out of Starbucks 3 to 5 days per week because of the pandemic. Working from home and brewing my own coffee has saved me a small fortune. I bought a really nice chair recently and I'm still in the green. When it's safe again, I might be interested in this Panera subscription though. Honestly, I hope it gets popular enough that Starbucks takes notice and offers a similar subscription. Good working chairs are a necessity I didn't know I needed until I had one. I also signed up for their free coffee program and it's great. 20% of the time, the coffee is terrible, but it's also pretty much free. I can definitely see how this would be a great deal for many. I will say, if you have the extra cash to buy coffee every day, everyone should consider if they should buy their coffee from a local business versus getting a steep discount from Panera. I would never buy coffee, so I don't mind stealing from Panera until the free period ends. But this is something to consider. Problem is that no local coffee places are open here when I need them to be. I don't venture to a secondary workplace until the afternoon when they all close. The Panera program is great, and I had a subscription for 6 months. Sadly, our local Panera cannot seem to make coffee that is servable. Coffee retrieved daily from them was either room temp, full of coffee grounds, or just slightly darker than tap water, very weak. It is a great program if your local Panera can deliver fresh coffee for you on a consistent basis. Yeah, I get that. It seems like my Panera improved their coffee when the subscription program started. In some stores, if they open another Panera near me that can deliver fresh coffee on a consistent basis, I will resubscribe in a heartbeat. I loved their coffee when it was fresh and at the correct serving temp, bite hot or cold. Glad you found a good deal, and I had no idea this kind of program existed, so thanks for sharing. I know every dollar counts and saving where you can is important, but paying a few dollars a day for a workspace that has electricity, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and coffee is a great deal already. They are definitely losing money with the way you are using this Panera deal. Not that that's your problem. I'm sure they make it up most of the time on snacks and people who visit once or twice a month. They more than make up for it in the people who subscribe and want a pastry or something with their coffee, particularly those who wouldn't have come anyway. That being said, when I host business meetings with larger groups, I come to Panera because I know the servers and I like the atmosphere. I usually spend a few hundred then. Honestly, they dump a lot of coffee out without people drinking it. This is a good way to get people to drink the stuff instead of letting it go to waste. I used to work at a Panera and we were supposed to brew new pots of coffee every hour. Not sure if this is still the policy, and just because it's policy doesn't mean people actually do it. Can add to this comment, worked and managed at Panera Bread for close to 5 years. Typically in the morning from open until about lunch it's changed about every hour. After 1 p.m. we didn't change shit unless someone said something. Seems like a win-win, especially if they can get a few people to buy food when they're there. This is cool. I got addicted to coffee after starting budgeting, where I began to understand that $2.73/day equals $1,000 a year. That fact made me stop a bunch of purchases. I started noticing multiple $2.73s I could cut out every day. I didn't care about soda, eating out, or paying for convenience to the tune of $1,000 per year. Coffee, though, that was the Seattle state tax. Dang. And working from home as often as I did, and doing quarantine, I value getting out of the house. I end up impulse buying at Dunkin' or 7-Eleven. I live in crappy San Diego with no good boutique coffee shops nearby. The habit probably has been costing me $5/day for the past couple months. There's a Panera not too far away. This is a cool idea. Sometimes I definitely pay for the excuse to get out of the house or be in a new environment. I bought a conical bird grinder with 18 settings for $99. Paid itself off in 30 days. I order whole bean coffee and espresso from a local shop that roasts it themselves. Probably spend around $35 on coffee every 2 months. Buying a cappuccino or latte every day at Starbucks is the equivalent of buying a cheap pack of cigarettes every day. Definitely a good idea. In all honesty, I have to get away from the house in the afternoon to work. That's why the subscription works for me. I work from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. at home, but there are too many distractions after that. Panera employee here. Couple things from me. They started the $8.99 subscription at the start of the summer, and they actually changed it to being straight up free. No strings attached. I can't remember exactly when that ends, but I know that it's soon. 100% worth it. And that's not even considering that getting your free coffee once a day will quickly get you huge discounts, if not free food and drink, if you use your My Panera card, which I'm pretty sure automatically happens. If you order the coffee online, you can select rapid pickup or curbside pickup. At my cafe, we put the appropriate cup on our RPU shelf with your ticket attached so you don't even need to wait in line. For curbside, we make the coffee to your specifications, 32 ounces iced coffee W3 Splendas and half, for example, and bring it out to your car. It doesn't get much easier or faster than that, since it will likely be ready by the time you click "I'm here" on your Panera app. A few other tips: the Bacon Chipotle is even more amazing if you get grilled chicken on it. Cinnamon Crunch bagels toasted with honey walnut cream cheese are absolutely fire. Pecan braids heated in the microwave also hit the spot so hard. Finally, cream cheese is $1.30, and your bagel is $1.29. Just be aware of that. Nice to see someone taking advantage of this deal. A friend recently made this switch and she's just getting a single cup on the way to work 3 to 4 times a week. I love coffee, so this deal caught my eye when it launched, but unfortunately I don't really like Panera coffee. Also, during normal times I'm on the road and expensing coffee most of the time, but it's my budget to spend, so I'm actively trying not to be wasteful. Some other money-saving tips in regards to coffee: forget Starbucks exists. Not because it's bad. Like anything, coffee has too many snobs, but because it's so expensive. It's also pretty awful for you. Make coffee at home. Regardless of what you like, anything can be made at home without a major investment. With some time, you'll make much better coffee too. Keurig or espresso machines are more continent and a lot cheaper. If you like lattes or fancy drinks, they are pretty easy to make at home too. They have single-serve machines that make them too. You'll need to invest a bit to get started, but the ROI is pretty short if you're a daily drinker. The cheapest option is a French press. New for $10 to $15. Best of all, it makes better coffee than any machine. Technically there are high-end options that are the real best, but they aren't even common in a coffee shop. Get an electric kettle for quick hot water and it doesn't take long either. Do you prefer iced coffee or cold brew? They are even easier to make at home. Cold brew is just coffee, water, and time. Make a pitcher full once or twice a week and most coffee is really cheap. Iced coffee is mostly about the cream/sugar added. Even if you like your iced coffee black, it's just coffee over ice. Buy reusable Starbucks cups/lids. We all know that walking around with a paper cup that has a green mermaid on it is a bit of a status symbol. And the brand is strong. For a couple bucks your home coffee looks like it cost you 10x as much. And it's better for the planet too. On the road, McDonald's coffee is $1. They have good Wi-Fi. If you happen to be hungry, the food is much cheaper too. Lastly, are you sure you don't like black coffee? Or have you not really given it a chance? Black folders from a pot that's been burning all morning is not a good example, and it's a bit of an acquired taste. Did you like beer or wine the first time you tried it? I certainly didn't. But over time I kept trying things and eventually developed a taste. Coffee is the same way. It's also infinitely better from a health perspective. Force yourself to try some fresh black coffee. And try some different brands and from different locations. Well, that's grounds for celebration. You'd be French pressed to find a better deal than that. Ahahaha. Love the coffee humor.
If you enjoyed this week's effective way to waste time, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you are enjoying the series, leave me a comment below. A special shout out to the content creators. You frickin' rock.